Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something.
Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next, and if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. So as we're progressing on our Ole Blue project here, last week we got this one side torn down, and now we're working on the other side. Unfortunately, the other side's not cooperating nearly as nicely as we would like as far as getting that fiberglass fender off. So what we're having to do is grind the heads down on these bolts, and to the point where we can punch the centers out and pop them out from the other side. I did find a source for those special flat bolts. They're not like a normal shoulder bolt that has a rounded head on it. These are flat. So now that I found the source for them, I don't feel so bad about losing them. And it looks like in the past somebody has replaced some of them with standard round head shoulder bolts. And of course you can tell by the way they rusted. You know, they don't hold up very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind those all out and fix up any of the metal. And what we're going to go with, I'm 99.9% sure, is we're going to, we have availability on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts here that support the bed from underneath. Let me move the camera so you can get a better picture of that. That's to give you a little better view. We've got this front support here, which is of course rusted completely out, and then you have this one, and there's another one here, so it's supposed to be anyway, and then one here, and then the rear, which is a special one. And I actually found the source on that, so we don't have to worry about trying to fix that. So, because they're rusted really, really bad. Anytime, you know, these wood beds will bad about rotting anyway, but when you just lay plywood on top of them, you know, to kind of get by, it just holds all that moisture in there and just rots everything completely out. So we are going to have to rebuild some metal along these two bed sides, because they aren't available. And this front piece, I believe, is available, but I think we can save it. And the tailgate is salvageable. So we're going to take and get these cross pieces and rebuild that back to the way it was, and then take a piece of 10 gauge steel and make the bed surface out of that, and then we'll prime it, prime the whole inside of the bed, and then have like your Line-X or Rhino lining, you know, spray and bed liner put in there, and that'll help protect it. And then we'll undercoat the underside of it to protect it from underneath, and that should outlast outlast anyone owning the truck. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to carry on here, and I got 2 of these bolts out already. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to go, or 7 to go. So we'll be getting at it here. And remember, always wear your safety glasses. Don't be a dumbass. that's how we do it. Six more to go. Oh, you remember me talking about how all that stuff, the rust and whatnot falling off the truck, what kind of mess that was gonna make? That's just what fell off as I was working. I still have to pull the center section of the bed off. Yeah, it was a big old mess. This is a mess. Okay, now we got the front part of the bed off. We can see what damage was hiding behind that. See what damage was hiding in between the bed and the cab, and that's pretty significant. I can make a piece to fix that. I'll have to see how much that front piece cost. I think that front piece is available. It may be more economically feasible just to, to buy this piece than invest the time and labor hours to make a piece and weld it in here and cut all that cancer out. Oh no, we're gonna have to see. And as you can see, there's plenty more mess on the floor. That's after I swept it up once already. All right, now we're gonna get a look at some of the damage on the frame here. This is where one of the bed mounts went, and you see the same one over there where it's all rotten out, and there's also stress cracks, fractures starting on here, and you can see where here the frame is just rusted away so thin, it's like thin as tissue paper right there. And the same thing on the other side. So yeah, this frame is done. There's no point. Once you blast it to clean it up and paint it, there won't be anything left of it. So, and especially with the cracks starting already, and then all the mounts are rusting through and cracking for the spring perches and things like that. There's, could it be fixed? Possibly. Is it worth it? No. If we have a donor truck, then, that's way better just to have, have another frame we can roll right up under here and use, even if we have to tweak it a little bit. So, but anyway, we got all our mess tidied up and swept up. Very important anytime you're doing a project, stay on top of it, otherwise it'll get ahead of you and and get away from you. So, all right, now we're gonna have to take some measurements and then to compare with the donor truck frame and see what kind of changes we need to make on it, and then go from there. All right, so the next part is we're going to go ahead and take this bumper off, and we'll have to take this homemade hitch off of here too first. It bolts to the underside of the bumper and then to the back of the frame. And of course, this truck was never intended to pull much. It's a very light duty truck. It's really only considered what you would call like I'm sure they call it a half ton, but it's really only a quarter ton. I mean, you can't pull a lot with this thing. So, but for the aesthetic of the truck, you know, looking like it did from the get-go, we'll probably want to put this hitch back on it. And of course, we'll pull our harness forward, and then we'll get this bumper off. All right, we got our bumper and our hitch off. Now we'll start pulling this wiring harness up, because we'll want to save all this stuff in case we should happen to need anything to take anything over to the donor truck, because all this is, you know, all this is functional as far as the electrics go. You know, it's just a matter of getting everything out of here and bagging and tagging it. That's the important bit. So lots to do, lots to do.